Santa, you're listening, please, can you bring joy and peace on earth? If Santa, you're listening, please, can you bring love enough for the world? Bells, they will be ringing, every heart just singing. So if Santa, you're listening, please, can you bring joy and peace on earth? If Santa, you're listening, please, can you bring love enough for the world? Then bells, they will be ringing, and every heart just singing.
Welcome to another live stream. It is another Tuesday. Got to change glasses. I can't even see you in those glasses. Oh, man, I tell you what, decorating the house, getting ready for live streams, all the other things going on in our world. Wow. So excited to have you guys with me tonight. I'm really excited to be here. I spend a lot of time in this house, so it's nice to feel like I'm going out and hanging out with my friends here on YouTube. I genuinely am excited, trying to get my chair out of the hole here. I hope that you guys are excited to be with me as well. It is just a few weeks away from Christmas here at the Bennett's house, and you can see we have the tree on. We have the twinkly lights on. I've added some lights and some candy canes throughout the room. We're going to unbox a couple things tonight. Let's just grab those real quick and we'll highlight those. Last week, I talked about that I wanted a device like this. Let me set this down. And I wanted a device like this to go from HDMI to USB-C. These go USB-C to HDMI. This one goes USB-C to HDMI. But what I was looking for is the reverse, and I completely forgot that a number of weeks ago, I was looking at all the things that were new out there in our beautiful world for live streaming tech, and a little ad popped up from RØDE that they had made a device that does exactly what I wanted it to do. And this is the device, so we're going to unbox that tonight. I also decided that I don't have enough lights in the studio, so we are going to unbox the Light Strip Pro tonight. Now, I think I already have a video on this on my channel. There's the old version, which is just the Light Strip, and then there's the Light Strip Pro. And the big difference is it doesn't just change colors. You can actually do motion. I already have two of them in the studio. They're not doing motion, but we'll set them in motion tonight. And I did notice that one of my lights, my key light Air, disconnected. And the nice thing about key lights, if they disconnect from the network, you can just flip the switch the other direction and it just turns on to the last setting. So I have my fill light tonight because right before we went live tonight, I did not have it. So we're gonna unbox this and we're gonna plug it in, play with it a little bit. I'll see if I can get it attached to my network live. That's crazy, but I'm gonna try it. I haven't decided where I'm gonna put this. So when we do our studio tour, we're gonna take you around, show you the decorations, not from this perspective, which is everything's laid out to make it look good like this camera angle. But we're going to give you some feedback tonight, opportunity to tell me where you think I should put this in the display, in the studio, for those of you that have humor like me. So that's going to be a little bit later. Let me set this down. This is going to be a little bit later as well. And again, this does converts HDMI to USB-C. And many of you guys know, do I dare unplug it? Yeah, I'll go ahead and unplug it. While we're live, why not? Oh, I better hit record. So before, I'm sure someone's already told me that in the chat. Let me go over here and hit record. So record, it's on YouTube, but just in case I want some of this footage later, this is the cam link, and this is what I wanted to replace. It goes from HDMI to USB-A, and then I have to convert this to USB-C, and you can see that this device is going to get it off of having to plug this and hang it out of the RodeCaster video. I could actually now get it on the table, and then I only have to plug this directly in the RodeCaster video. So this adapter is made to bring HDMI cameras into either input 5 or 6 in the RodeCaster video. And you don't have that many inputs in the RodeCaster video S. You only have one USB-C camera input. It could be camera or audio, or actually a USB microphone. So you could either do a webcam uncompressed by bringing it in HDMI from your regular camera, or you could get a camera like we'll talk about later, the YoloCam S3, which I have in the studio, and that is uncompressed video from a webcam, and that could come into that input. So this is plugged in right now into USB 4. So we're going to plug that, or no, actually USB 5. And let me plug this back in. And we're actually going to plug this new adapter in a little bit later, and we're going to give a test tonight. So keep that in mind. That's where we're headed. So let's go ahead and let's say hi to those of you are in the chat. So let's put chat on the air. And we have a hello from Grish in Spokane. Tony says he's going to be here for hour number 2. That's awesome. I actually watched Tony's live stream on Saturday, and I can't believe he had a video blow up on his channel, and he had a ridiculous amount of subscribers. Let me go back, and I think it's only in the chat on his video, so I can't bring it up on my phone, even though Tony and I can chat on the phone. It's good to have you here, Hank, from Bluffton, South Carolina. As usually, Hank, I'm so glad you're with us. By the way, I was a bit late, and I apologize for that. And I was doing some work in his studio in the RodeCaster video app, making some, some layouts, and I just lost track of time. And 7 minutes went by, I looked up, and I was late to do the live stream, so I apologize. Can't shorten up the intro video, plus tonight's intro video with the countdown timer, and I'll talk about how I did that. That literally was playing. So Gris said, no problem, we're here. Thank you guys for staying here, even though I was late. So again, it's good to have you guys all here. I did get started, but it is a 7-minute intro plus a few seconds, and I wanted to play it for you because it's the tour of the house. Okay, let's continue down. Gary is here. It's good to have you. And as always, David is here from Australia, which is, it's totally cool. Grish was talking about no lyrics. No, I started the video tonight with just music, and then I added the lyrics to that Christmas song at the very end. And then you're going to have lyrics to that Christmas song singing as we roll out tonight in the outro. And the whole song plays in the outro. So sit back and enjoy some Christmas music as I roll out tonight. So let's see. I like the new Welcome Live. Yeah, I put a graphic in tonight's intro video, so I'm glad you saw that. Is the Rode USB-C to HDMI something special, or can you use any old USB-C to HDMI adapter out there? Well, that's a yes. I'm not sure which ones work. I know the Cam Link will work inside the RodeCaster video, and we're going to test, obviously, the one they have. We're going to test this tonight to see if it just automatically plays. You can just plug the Cam Link in, plug HDMI from your camera into the HDMI side of the Cam Link by Elgato, and then the other side is USB-A. You'll have to convert USB-A to USB-C to get it in the back of the RodeCaster video, where this one you do not have to. Now, I couldn't find another manufacturer that makes something like this, and what you want is you don't want all of this hanging out of the input of the RodeCaster video. You want just this part hanging inside. So what it does is it gives you room to pull other things in and out, where if you have the Cam Link plugged in, it's actually bigger. I'm sure the Cam Link is actually bigger than this Rode end. So for whatever it's worth, we'll test this tonight. Set this back here. Continue saying hello here in the chat. For the poll, do you present to yourself count? Did I spell this something wrong? Have you already opened a studio? Yeah, sorry about that. I meant birthday, Christmas, present. That's not something I'm really good at, is spelling. I apologize if that's a typo, but again, you guys can have fun with it. But yeah, I just want to know if you've already got something for your studio and opened it this year. And right now we have 62% of you said no out of 8 votes, and 38% said you've already opened something up. So I'd love to know what you opened up a little bit later tonight. So get ready to answer that question if you're open to answering that. Let's see. And I think I already said, let's go back here. No. It's good to have you tonight, Sean, as always. It's good to have you join us. Gris says, A-OK, so it's something special. Yeah, Rode made this special, but other devices should work. So, Keith, have you been enjoying the RodeCaster, or do you feel the itch to go back to the ATEM? Well, obviously, I'm enjoying the RodeCaster. And again, I wanted to really spend some time live streaming from it so I can recommend it or not recommend it. And as of right now, I would recommend it. If you'd only need a handful of channels and you want it to be easier to lay out complicated layouts, like 4 boxes with a logo, or a layout like this where you have a background and the main image is smaller. That's what this layout is tonight. If I cut to camera 4, camera 3, then I'm full screen. If I cut back, then I'm in a layout. So this has 3 layers in it, and this is just the HDMI input. You can see there is no graphic. I can bring that on the air, but with this layout, the graphics are built in, and I like that. I only have 1 key, so this is it. So I can only show 1 lower thirds at a time. That's the downside of the RodeCaster video. But again, there's so many upsides to the device that I am enjoying it. But to do what I do, consulting, helping people, training people on the ATEM Extreme, the ATEM Mini Pro, and now the RodeCaster video, to do it effectively, I need a lot more inputs in my studio. In fact, I have to completely rewire my studio. And it looks like very soon I will have a loaner version of the YoloBox Extreme. Still finalizing the details to that. So it's not 100% guaranteed, but I've already been told that I can get a loaner. So I will be testing it out and probably live streaming from it after the first of the year. But I really want to stay live from the RodeCaster video until the first of the year, and then I may be going live from the YOLO Unbox Extreme, or I may go back to the Extreme ISO for a while I do some testing and do some playing around with the RodeCaster or with the YoloBox Extreme. And again, why not? Why not look at it, take a look at it. If I like it, I'll do some videos on my channel. I have no obligation to do any videos, but I will see if I can finalize the details to that. Yeah, Tony had a video that blew up and doing really well, and he got a bunch of subscribers. I mean, it blew my mind. So maybe when Tony's here in the chat later tonight, we'll ask him how many of that one video has added to his subscriber list. But you can go to Quick Tech Solutions, Tony's channel, and watch his Saturday live, and you'll because he talks about that video and how many views he had on Saturday. I have no clue how many views he has up to tonight, but that's really cool. Balls Promo TV, hello from Aussie Wayne, Sunshine Coastal Australia. It is great to have you guys coming from Australia, and that's amazing. Doug Forrest is here as well. Thank you for joining me in the live stream. David's Heart 47. Hi, bro Keith. Greetings from Lithuania. You are blessed. Thank you for your videos, helping really so much. That's awesome. So Lithuania, I'm just blown away. I have to tell you, I drove up with my wife, Shannon, and I got a chance to speak. I don't speak that often. I actually spoke in a church on Sunday. It's really a small group of about 16, 17, 18 people. It's a longtime friends church. Occasionally he invites me more than I go up. I don't think I've been up there with him for over a year, but I spoke in the morning and I spoke in the evening. And really the topic, the reason I want to share this with you, the main topic was about being in your 60s and older. And so I had a lot of fun. Most of the people in the room were either going to turn 60 in 4, 5, 6 years, or a year, or maybe 3 years. But the rest of the crowd, probably 80% of the room, was in their 60s. And I'm 64. My wife, Shannon, just turned 60. And a lot of things change. We'll talk more about that on the channel in the future. But it was a lot of fun. So I got to get out. I got to hang out with people. We got to have a meal in the afternoon at 4:30. And then after that, we got a chance to hang out for a while. Then we drove back. It was about a 14-hour day. And I was really tired yesterday. So was my wife. But it was a lot of fun. Most of what I do now is speak about live streaming tech. And if I am meeting with a pastor friend of mine or someone that's been referred to me, we're talking about ATEM minis, cameras. We're talking about HyperDecks. We're talking about web presenters. That's most of our conversations. And at lunch, we're catching up if I know the person. But this weekend was unusual for Shannon and I to be able to go on the road together and have fun with our friends. And it was a lot of fun. But again, being over 60, things change. Like my eyesight is changing. This year I had the major break of my ankle. I don't know if that happened because of old age. The fall was pretty bad. So could have broke the same when I was in my 20s. Who knows? But I hope that's not a sign of more breaks in the future. Good to have you, Hank. And Hank says, does Rode make an adapter that converts a Facecam Pro USB camera output to HDMI camera input of the ATEM Mini Extreme? Not on the Extreme. The Facecam Pro is USB-C camera. It's uncompressed. And so I believe that camera worked great, plugged directly into the RodeCaster video, Hank. But I don't know an adapter. I do think that YOLO Live does have an adapter. It's about $300, I think. Let's see if we can find that adapter actually right now online. Why not? Let's find a browser here. Might as well. Hank, let's see. See if I can find it on their page. I'm not seeing it, or I'd show you what I'm looking at, but I'm almost positive. Maybe they don't sell it anymore, but I thought they had an adapter. Let me just look under accessories real quick. Yeah, so I'm in contact with them, so I will ask in my email, but I don't see that, Hank. So I personally don't have a solution for that. Like the new YoloCam PTZ camera has an HDMI out, but bringing the camera into your ATEM Extreme, that means you got to convert USB-C to HDMI, and I'm not sure if that would work. Let me just think about that real quick. These are USB-C to HDMI. So I don't know if you just bought a connector, would this work? So obviously this adapter by Kobalar. And then I think Tony said he's had good experience with, and if you go to last week's video, these links, I believe, are in the description. Sabrent, Sabrent. So these are USB-C to HDMI, so I could come out of the USB-C out of my RodeCaster video, and then I could go out to a monitor. So let's say, for instance, I do a remote event and I want to have a monitor just for multi-view, a monitor for program, and then also send something to a projector. Then I would need 3 outputs, and the RodeCaster video does have 3 outputs. Actually has 4 if you count the NDI output. But you have 2 HDMI outs of the RodeCaster video and 1 USB-C out. Normally we use the USB-C outs to bring it into our computer so that we can do Zoom or something from the computer, or go live from from OBS or some software on your computer. But this will let me go USB-C to HDMI. Now I haven't tested these yet, but I am going, when I rewire the studio, I am going to use these, and I just bought a couple of these to do some testing. Now I have a client of mine that just bought a RodeCaster video, and I've got to go over and help him install. So I'm probably going to leave one of these with him, so he can have a separate monitor HDMI, rather than having to figure out how to use that third USB-C out. Okay. I am 60 in a few years too. Okay. So, good to know. Our church is about 40 or 50. We got for live streaming ATEM Pro ISO. Very satisfied. Not yet getting well with text names. Okay. Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with the ATEM Mini Pro ISO. Again, you have 4 inputs, so you could probably have 3 cameras and bring a computer in for graphics. You have plenty of keys. You have an upstream key and a downstream key. So that's one more than the RodeCaster video has. And then also you have the USB-C out and an HDMI out. I wish the RodeCaster Pro ISO, or RodeCaster video, not the RodeCaster Pro, the Extreme Pro ISO has two HDMI outs, but it doesn't. That's what I love about the A10 Mini Extreme and the Extreme ISO is they have two HDMI outs. So that's exciting. Okay. So we said hi to everybody in the chat. Sorry it's taken so long to get this far, but a couple of people asked some questions. So I wanted to just touch base just a little bit about this decorating thing. I don't know. I have a poll up. If you haven't answered it yet, have you already opened a studio present, like a present you would normally put under the tree and wait for the holiday to get here? That's the question I was asking. So if you would like to answer that poll, great. I have 8 votes. 62% say you have not opened a gift for your studio already. And 38% of you say you have. And to be honest with you, I'm going to be opening 2 gifts to me tonight. So keep that in mind. Okay. So tonight, if you did not get a chance to watch the intro video, I wanted to give you a quick tour. It's 7 minutes long, and it was in the intro, but I wanted to give you guys a quick tour of the decorations in the house. It's kind of a shout out to my wonderful wife, Shannon, who does all the decorating. I put the tree up, and I put the lights on the tree, and then she did the decorating. You're going to see the tree, but 98% of what you see in the house is decorations. And you're also going to see mine and Shannon's gift that we already opened up as well. And that is a snowman that you're going to see in the first part of this video. That's a co-gift. That's going to be our major gift for Christmas this year. But I'm always doing some unboxings during the Christmas month of December. And so these are obviously gifts for my studio. And if you just got on, we're going to be unboxing this as well tonight. So 2 things to unbox here in just a few minutes. But not only is this just a video of my house, so it starts outside, we come on the patio, into the house, into the kitchen / living room, and then if you would like to see the studio tonight from a different perspective, that was on the agenda as well. And then I'm going to give you an update about some of the updates coming out on the YoloCam S3, because they have been feeding me all the things that they're working on in the beta. And so that should be a lot of fun. Hank says he was 30 years ago. Congratulations, Hank. I am ecstatic you're still with us. Opened my door, Osbot UVC to HDMI converted for my Tiny 2. So I opened my door, Osbot UVC to HDMI converter for my Tiny 2. I think that's the converter I was talking about, but I'm not sure that does what Hank was asking if it would do. And here's what Hank was asking. Does Rode make an adapter that converts a Facecam Pro USB camera output to HDMI camera? And I don't know, maybe these will work. So I do have I don't think I have a USB-C to USB-C adapter, so I can't test what I have in the studio. Thank you. God bless. I'll take all the blessings I can get. Okay, so let me play this video. It's about 7 minutes long. It does not have the countdown clock in it. So it's got music at the beginning, and then you're going to hear this song the 3rd time with lyrics. I figured listening to it 3 times in a row or 2.5 times in a row is no fun. So it's music, and then it's going to cut to the very end. And then we're going to be back in the studio, and we'll be unboxing 2 things. So grab something to drink, sit back, and enjoy this video. Let me see if I know how to run the RodeCaster video here. Get my mouse over here. This is video C, and let's roll it.
Santa, you're listening, please, can you bring joy and peace on earth? If Santa, you're listening, please, can you bring love enough for the world? Bells, they will be ringing, every heart just singing. So if Santa, you're listening, please, can you bring joy and peace on earth? If Santa, you're listening, please, can you bring love enough for the world? Then bells, they will be ringing, and every heart just singing.
Was that fun? I hope you had fun. Anyway, I just really wanted to play that video. It's a tribute to my lovely bride, obviously, who does such an amazing job. And so also, let's just double check here. Here we go. Let's change to E. So this is kind of the studio, so you guys can see my view. So I can control chat down there, and then I can see chat, and my camera is right behind this prompter by Elgato, and they have a new version out. And so that's a lot of fun. Let me change microphones here real quick. Wireless is on now, so I can move around. And so, I mean, I have some lights up. There's a light there. Here's all my lights. That's the one I was telling you doesn't work. So no Christmas up here, no Christmas up there. But I do have Christmas right here with Batman. And I have Christmas right here. There's a close-up of the tree, and I've got the candy canes on there now. Another twinkle light. I've got Christmas back here. I've got a light right there on North Pole sign. And then there you go. All the way down, there's Santa. And then I'll show you guys that tree from that angle and that angle. This is a couple figures that Dominic and I'll be unboxing. It's just sitting here waiting in the middle of my floor. Then I have kind of my Batman display. This actually plays. And there's the remote control for it. And I got candy canes on here. There's Batman and Robin Christmas. And then obviously I've got the fireplace going on here. And then I have this little layout right here. I've got a light on it. And then I've got some twinkle lights on that display. And then that twinkle light. Merry Christmas right there. We've got Boba Fett and Cynic up there. And then let's see, what else do I have? I have that twinkle light, and they're hanging from up here. So there's that twinkle light, and that twinkle light, and that twinkle, and that twinkle light gives me all the twinkle lights. And That's the set right there. So you have had a tour of the studio, and you've also had a tour of the house so that you can see my Christmas layout here. So let's just catch up here in the chat. Let's make sure that's on the air. I already kind of responded to this. But thank you for saying that, David. She is an amazing woman, and I am so blessed. We've been married going on 43 years. She's my first and last wife, I hope. Yeah, I'm blessed to have her. Keith, I think we can still hear you. I said that the mic is muted. I double-checked the mics. Let's switch back here. So I'm back on this mic right here. Looks like we have good audio. Hopefully it's not doubled. Let me just double check. See if I am doubled here. Check, check, check. Nope. Cool. Okay, so learning how to run the RodeCaster. Are you still drinking decaf? No, here is that cup that you saw, that cup of coffee. I filled it a couple times. Here's the Christmas cup. 100% caffeinated coffee. Then I have my Costco drink. This is sugar-free. I call them fizzy drinks. This is kind of a blackberry, and I love it. It's in my green Christmas cup. Again, celebrating the season. Let's see here. Drinking the real stuff now. Thank you for hitting the like. I really, really, really appreciate that, Grish. Thank you guys for doing that. That was beautiful. I'm glad you enjoyed that, David. Doubled audio. I don't know when the doubled audio was. Echo, Keith. Echo on audio. So we have echo on the audio right now. Let me double check here. Testing 1, 2, check. Is the audio still echoing for you guys right now? I don't hear any echo in my headphones, and this is coming from the RodeCaster video. Okay, so let's grab my knife. Let's get on the desk here. Let's change the layout here. Audio is okay. The double audio is when you use the phone via NDI. Oh, I'm sorry. So the phone must be sending audio. Okay, well, let's look at that real quick. Let me change views here. We'll do some research together here. Let's see. Let's turn chat off the air for a second here. Let's move that out of the way. You guys should still have audio from here. Let's create a quick layout here. Let's see. That was camera. Let me fire that back up again, and we'll double check this real quick. Opening the NDI app on my phone. Okay. That's cool. We'll drag this over here. And then we'll cut to G. got the phone in my hand. I don't need the phone. I'm just going to use this layout here real quick. So the phone input is input number 5. So let's go to 5. Not sure what's going on or how I can mute that. There it is. So there's a little icon on the bottom right, and you can mute that. So I'll have to figure that out if I do any more tours in the studio using that. Okay. So I'm gonna close that app for right now. And let's go to B here. And let's do some unboxings tonight before we lose the whole night. So this is the HDMI to USB-C converter. There's the front of the box. There's the back of the box, the side, turn that around, that side, all the details. And again, there's the back of the box. And there's some plastic down here. So we're gonna see if we can't cut our way into this. Try not to cut my hand off. So pull this out. And there's some directions in the box. So throw that behind us. So here's the little regulatory and safety guide as usual, but it's in this nice little handy dandy container. So just pull that out and pull this out and scan me for info. So there's the barcode. If you guys want to scan that and go check that out. But that's the little container box. So made out of cardboard. That's pretty cool. So here is the adapter, and what we're going to do is we're going to hook it up and see if it works. Now I have my 5D Mark III plugged in. I'm going to wait and see if this comes in, and it does. So here it is. So this is my 5D Mark III, and it's using the cam link. So we're going to unplug it right now, and I'm going to do that live so you guys see it go dead. So I'm going to cut back, and we're going to pull this HDMI cable out. We're going to plug this in to the HDMI side. Nice and tight. And now we're going to plug in the USB-C side. Here's the cable to my S3. It's not plugged in tonight. And it's live. So it works great. So able to replace the cam link and the adapter, so I don't need this hanging out of the back of my RodeCaster video. I just have the USB cable plugging right into it. We'll do the other unboxing first before we move that camera. So again, that worked live, so that's pretty cool. So now let's unbox this Light Strip Pro. So here's the front of the box. It's in kind of a regular cardboard box. So there's the back of it right there. Wish the lights were a little brighter. Let's change looks here. Let's see. I might lose a light if I do this, but let's try it. That makes it a little brighter, I think, but makes me darker. So the front of the box, the sides, and let's find, there's the plastic we got to cut into. So we'll open this up, and knife just landed on my foot. Hopefully it didn't stick me. Here's the booklet that comes with it. So it tells you that you can actually cut it on these lines, all the stuff that comes with, the different power adapters. Let's go back to this look right here. Comes with these different power adapter layouts. So won't go through all of this, but it gives you instructions on how to set it up. The reset button on the side. And then lots of pages of all this data, but the major setup pages are these few right here. We'll set that aside. So inside you have a spool. So it comes inside this spool. We'll open this up in a second. Then you have the warning guide again. Then you have the actual Light Strip Pro. So the LED strip goes in right there, and the power cable goes right there. That's the top of the box. So there you have a look at that. Then we open this up, and you have the power supply in here. What do we have in here? These are the different ends. A little stick paper. Here's the ends. This is a little joiner. I guess you could buy it. They say you can't add more to it. I have one of these in my drawer, so who knows? Maybe you can add another strip, or if you cut it for some reason and wanted to put two pieces together, I don't know. I'd have to dig deeper. I don't need these two, so I'll put those back in the bag. And this just goes on the shelf in my garage. The box is empty. We'll undo this cable. Pop this on. Just snaps into place like that. Then this little piece right here is tucked in around the corner. I'm looking for an end. Guess this is it. So we'll pull this out. You guys will probably want to know how long it is. Now this has a magnet on the back, which is really cool to have. So it also has sticking stuff, but it's magnetic. And I have the ones I'm using in my studio on my shelves that have metal, so they're just hooked on that way. So let's see if we can plug this in. Power. And we'll stretch this out. Oops. We'll cut to A. So here is the length of the cord. It is not, yeah, it's almost full width power cord. Plug this in. Now it's powering up. And we'll cut back to the desk here. You guys can see this powered up directly as soon as I hooked it up. So let me stand up here and see what the length is. I mean, it's on their site, but see what the length is. That far. And I already have 2 of these in the studio. So we'll set this back here on the desk. So here is the light strip on my desk. And then you also have their page. So you're going to want to download the software. And I'll bring open my software right here. Let's see, which one is Elgato here? So here's all of my lights. Do I have a bigger view of this real quick? Switch to D here. I'll open that again here. So here are all my lights, and you can see I have a Elgato Key Light Air. That's the one that wasn't on tonight and is working now. Key Light Desk Cam 2. So that's a regular key light, and I have 2 of those. So I have 3 key lights on my desk. I have 1 light strip that doesn't do any motion. That's in the back of the room on the table that has the Christmas tree on it. And then on the 2 other tables, the one that has Batman and the one that has the other display with the red truck in my studio, that has the Light Strip Pro. And now I have another Light Strip Pro right here on my desk. So what you do is you go up to the plus icon, hit plus, And now I'm looking for Elgato Light Strip. I'm going to click connect. Now I've got to do some little work here. Well, for some reason, it's not hooking up. I've had this trouble in the past, and I've had to reboot my laptop, which I can't do tonight live. But let's see. I can kind of give you guys an overview. Elgato Light Strip Pro connected to Bennett successfully. Okay, it is connected. Way cool. I'll celebrate that. So this should brighten this up on my desk. There we go. Let's do a motion. There is some motion. It's going green. So let's try this one. There you go. We need a bigger shot of this. Come on, Keith. You can do this. You can do this. Where is a view of what I want here? No. What happened to my downward camera? Taking a break, be back soon. Are you nuts? How can you be taking a break? I lost my camera. So let's go to this view here real quick. Sorry. We'll go to, I'm glad I have that adapter tonight. So this is G, right? B. Okay, there you go. So let's just try some other looks. Raise the brightness a little. There's just a steady blue. Takes a few seconds for these to load, but you can see you can do all kinds of things with these. It's pretty incredible what you can do with these lights. We'll cut back to this view. So I have this kind of software open right here. And so I could do speed medium, I could do fast. I have pendulum, and I could activate that. So we have all these effects. So you have Comet. Let's load Comet, see what happens. There's Comet, which I really think is cool. It just goes around. So if you have it on a table, it goes around and around and around. Here's dynamic. Let's activate that. This is called dynamic. going through red, yellow, white, green, blue, and you could change those colors right up here. You could do duration of how each color says, so I could stay longer on each color if I wanted to. Transition speed, medium, crossfade, breathing, so I could have it breathe, which is like, I have Christmas tree lights that do breathing. So again, I'm not going to demo all of these, but you have lots of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Let's try glitch. Hit activate. This is glitch. See what that does? Wow, that's pretty cool. So you just have that one spark moving around. So as you can see, I like these lights. I like the fact that you can wirelessly attach to them and put them in your studio and have a lot of fun. So now let's get back in the chat. Let's fix the chat. My camera, let's reset the camera. If I can get it to come back on again, who knows? It's coming on. Let's get back to the chat here. Put it on the air. And audio A-OK. Audio good now, was echoing. So I don't have any more chat from you guys. Hopefully you're still with me. But what are your thoughts on those two items? I have links tonight in the description. So if you want to find that Elgato Light Strip Pro and install this in your studio, again, you can attach it to your wireless network. Then you can download the software from the site. And again, let's adjust this scene setting here. This is the software opened on my desk. And so you can add all the lights to it, and then you can go in and adjust that light that you're working on specifically, which was what I'm doing right now. It's open. I have general settings, colors, and scenes. And so I have all of this ability. So you can do a setup in your studio how you like. And I think that is really, really cool. So I love these Elgato Light Strip Pros. I like them a lot better than I used to with the Light Strip, because the Light Strip, you can extend it, and mine is extended. My Light Strip regular, not the Pro, goes around this corner shelf all the way up and all the way down, and it's on. And I also have some new twinkle lights that I put on there, and that's in the video when I walked around the studio. Sorry for the echo. The lights are so cool. Well, I'm glad you think that, David. They're really inexpensive right now. I think it was like 49 bucks for the Light Strip. For what they do, it's a steal. I know you can buy cheaper lights out there, but I love how you can incorporate the Elgato network. You can actually create Stream Deck buttons for Elgato light strips. So you could have a page just dedicated to your lights. So if you wanted to change it up, you could have a button for each one of those effects. You could have it for turning them on, turning them off. I have a switch so I can come in my studio and turn everything on, and I have a switch to turn everything off. I also have the ability to change camera looks. So if I'm going to change to another camera, and I actually have camera 1 live tonight. So here is camera 1, and I have a setup for it. Let me go back here. Let's see. Camera 1 is this lighting setup right here. And it didn't work, so something's off with my key light. That one's supposed to go dimmer. Let's try this. Yeah, this is the light, camera 3. So I can change this setup, and then I can change back to the other camera. I only have 2 cameras coming into the RodeCaster video. So let me change back. So again, I love these lights. Been playing catch up on 2X, but I wanted to say thanks for sending me those links on how to do the chat in your live stream. I was happy to see when you showed the prompter in your studio. Yeah, so I do have a link in last week's video to how I do chat on the air. And again, I'm using a Chrome browser extension that was edited by Aaron Parecki. It was written by someone else. So I did a whole how-to video. I use that browser extension. I pop the chat out. I bring the link into OBS, and then I'm using OBS to display it on the air, and explains how to do all that. In last week's video, it's in the chat if you want to go back and check that out. Tony, it's good to have you back. Tony, how many subscribers did you say your video that's going viral on your channel? I shared about that at the beginning. How many subscribers have you gained from that one video? It blew my mind. So could you share that tonight with our group? How many new subscribers did that one video get you? So maybe that number, and how many views right now on your video? That was crazy. And again, subscribe to Tony's channel, go over and check out his live stream from last Saturday, but pretty stinking cool. Lights are cool. Cheaper than DIY options. We used to do this with an Arduino or RASP Pi. Oh, Raspberry Pi. Okay, gosh. Do you Elgato lights above your monitors lose Wi-Fi? Mine do sometimes. Yeah, I've lost Wi-Fi occasionally. Again, it's depending on your Wi-Fi. My challenge in my studio, and one of the things I'm changing in 2026, is my Wi-Fi is in the next room. It's Shannon's sewing room now. It used to be my son Bryson's bedroom. Keith goes mysteriously silent. I'm changing back to this microphone. This is what you're listening to now. You were listening to the Wireless Go, which is hidden right here behind my shirt. So that room has my wireless network in it and my wireless for this side of the house. I want to go to a Unify wall jack. I have one in my bedroom. I have one upstairs in Shannon's office. It's a bonus room above the garage you saw in the intro video. Tony, if you didn't get a chance to watch tonight's intro video, it gives you my tour of the house. And then I played it again in tonight's live stream without the countdown clock. And then I also did a quick walk around of the decorations I have in the studio. But so that room has the wireless receiver. So it's got to go through a couple walls. That door's shut right now. So occasionally I will lose signal. This next year in 2026, I'm going to go to the wall jack, which is back in this corner. I'm going to replace the wall jack with a 2-port switch, and it's also got a dual band wireless inside of it. So then I'll have wireless in this room, and then everything that I've put in this room will hopefully stay connected. Rarely do my Elgato lights go off my network. Sometimes you got to change settings inside your network. But keep that in mind. And I believe, read the material. I do believe you have to have a 2-band network. So 2 different speeds network. And I do have that in my Unify. Tony said he got 1,954 subscribers from one video. Tony, that's half of my subscribers, dude. That is so cool. Now, I don't know what kind of subscribers they're going to be, but they all liked your video and they all subscribe to you. That's crazy. And then he says 157,000 in the first 2 weeks. Congratulations, Tony. You are now a big deal. Let's just say that. Thanks so much for the info, and I'm loving the Christmas vibe. Well, cool. I'm glad you were here. Glad you joined us tonight. And Doug says, congratulations on the video, Tony. Yeah, I joined with Doug. Tony says, we'll definitely watch from the beginning after the stream. Cool. He says, thanks to Doug. I mean, Elgato lights have 2 of them and often lose connection with the software. Yeah, again, it's your wireless network. So just keep that in mind. So, you know, if your wireless is on the other side of the house, then you may want to put an extender inside your house. There's lots of ways of doing that. And so That's not my expertise. Again, I have a unified network, and all of the rooms that I normally do live streaming from are wired. What does that mean? That means I have a network jack in my wall that goes to my main hub in the room next door. So then I can bring all of everything. My live streaming right now is going through that Ethernet port. I'm not streaming wirelessly. I'm actually streaming tethered. And again, the RODECaster Pro can go both ways. It can be wireless or it can be wired, and I always stream wired. And so with a unified system, obviously you would have to have a switch. You got to bring in the network signal into your house, and then you can actually plug into your switch or your modem inside your house and have a little remote dongle that you can then access remotely, which I can from anywhere in the world. So I can be checking my internet. I have a guest network in my house, and then I have my private wireless network inside my house as well. So, and if you want to know more about VLANs and if you should or you shouldn't, go over to Tony's channel. Just luck. It was a good topic, got people talking. That's for sure. Laugh out loud. Yeah, well, Tony, we're all learning how to live stream and what works. You have specific things you talk about on your channel, which are different than I talk mostly about live streaming tech. You have really cool stuff on networking, really cool stuff on things like NASs. That's really cool. I need to get one. Shannon and I talked about adding a NAS next year to our studio. I watch your videos when you are talking about those devices. And again, great tool for backup. Right now I have a number of backups. I have a backup of a backup of a backup. I'm using spinning drives mostly, but I have more than one. And I'm actually getting ready to add another one. And after Christmas sale, hopefully, there's usually really good deals just to give me another backup. And then I have these as well. That I have backups on for different projects or different clients. And then I back these up onto my main drives. But the NAS will obviously give me the ability to back up everything. And then if one drive dies, you can swap it out, which is really cool. But I need a lot of storage when I go that direction. And I'm still 1G in my studio. I think Tony has some 10G in his studio. Aaron Precki, I think, now has 10G in his studio. So I'm a little bit behind the times. So, well, we've unboxed the Light Strip Pro. We also unboxed Rode's new dongle, HDMI. So you can come from a camera, DSLR camera in, and then you can go USB-C out. What this does is basically turn your camera into a web camera. And this is a dongle just like the Cam Link. And I've got the Cam Link right here on my desk. So you can compare them. This I have to plug in an adapter. And then the adapter, USB-A to USB-C, goes inside my RodeCaster video. But this, I can let this lay on the desk, and all I have to do is plug this end in. So I don't have anything like this hanging out of my RodeCaster anymore. So 2 Christmas presents for me early. Merry Christmas to Keith in the studio. And I think I told you guys, do I have a camera? Let me see if I have a camera. Let's go remote here. My camera did not come back live. Or did it? Yeah, let's use this camera right here. Let's turn that chat off the air. And oops. And let's cut to this. Okay, did I break it? No, I didn't break it. Let's cut back to this angle. And then what I want to do right now is cut to camera 4. Dominic and I are super excited to be opening up that box, and we're going to do an unboxing. He's going to be on my channel, I hope, before Christmas, and we're going to unbox that puppy live and just show you the two boxes inside of it. And then he and I are going to shoot a video of unboxing those two boxes. And if you guys would like to see those unboxing videos, all it really is Dominic shows the box, then he gets the character and all of the different parts and pieces that go with those characters, and he puts them on the table. What are those characters? Well, very similar to, where is he at here? Let's find Batman. You're getting a studio tour again. Where are you, Batman? Yeah, there is the, let's see, let's change back to camera 6. No, what camera is that? Camera 4. That we've already unboxed. It's going to be on our Bennetts Collectibles channel, which is already on YouTube, but we haven't uploaded any videos. So we'll let you know when we start uploading the videos. We have lots of videos shot, but he and I are going to edit those, and we've been waiting for his parents to get him a laptop to do editing. That's coming very soon. And then I will be teaching my grandson, Dominic, how to do video editing, both in DaVinci Resolve as well as Adobe Premiere Pro, because I want him to understand that there's that whole suite available from Adobe. So that's really all I have tonight. I do want to do a little Q&A, so if you guys have any questions about the Light Strip Pro or the RodeCaster video or the lights or my setup or what's coming up in the next couple live streams, let's look at the calendar here right now. I was going to do this earlier today. So we have the 16th and the 23rd, and then it's going to be Christmas weekend. So if you're celebrating Christmas or you're celebrating Hanukkah, it'll all be over after that week of December. And then we're going to be the 6th. We'll be live on the 30th, and we're also going to be live on the 6th of January, which is 2026. On the 30th, I'm going to talk about my favorite things that I added to my studio in 2025, and I'm going to be talking about the remodel of the studio as well as the rewire of my studio that's going to be coming in 2026. Now, I still will probably be this view, but things will be changing in and around the studio because we want to be able to do some different things, and I want to be able to add the RodeCaster video as well as my A10 Mini Pro and my Extreme ISO. I want to be able to switch to any one of those at any one time so I can show those to my clients. So, okay. We'll go back to the chat here in a minute. Let me just look here real quick. Let's close this. Maybe, yeah, there it goes. So we want to go to C. So this is the form that you can fill out if you want to be in the New Year gathering. The 6th, I plan on doing a special Zoom gathering called a town hall. I want to start the year off with a town hall after the live stream on the 6th. So we're going to have a shorter live stream, and then we're going to do a town hall together. If you would like to be a part of that, fill out this form, your name, first and last. Let me know where you're from. I do need an email. I do not need a phone number. But in the notes right here, if I've never met you before, let me know where you're from, and just say I'd like to join the town hall in January. And then I will send you an invite, and you can join a Zoom conversation with other people that subscribe to this channel that might be in the chat. I hope all of you can come. This is also the forum that you go to if you want to ask for a free 1-hour consult. I do consulting. I help people with live streaming tech. I help people with video editing. I help people with basic understanding of social media, mainly Facebook and YouTube and Google business. I also teach people how to use OBS to do live stream chat and to bring other things on the air. I train on the A10 Mini Pro, the A10 Mini, the A10 Mini Extreme, Extreme ISO, the RODECaster Pro 2, the RODECaster Duo, the RODECaster Video now, and I can also help you with the RODECaster Video S, even though I don't have one. They're almost identical. There's just less features on the RODECaster Video S. And then also things like the Light Strip Pro, what kind of cameras, microphones. I know audio. So if you'd like to have a 1 hour free with me, then take advantage of that. And then I share with you how my consulting programs work. Last week I did a Black Friday sale and discounted the hours. That sale is over. I'm also going to announce in that Zoom night, the 6th, a special deal for January. It will not be as good as the Black Friday deal, but it will be a deal for anybody who wants to take advantage of consulting. But you don't have to. You could just take 1 hour and I could help you. I'll be ecstatic to help you, to meet you face to face. I absolutely love it. And it gives me a chance to see who you are and see what you're doing, where you're at. So it's one per person. So obviously I don't do a free 1 hour Zoom with everybody every year. It's just take advantage of one time. And I hope that you guys will do that. So thank you so much. Adobe Premiere. Let me fix this real quick. Adobe Premiere Pro is what I will be teaching Dominic, as well as DaVinci Resolve, if that's what you're alluding to. I bought myself a bunch of DaVinci plugins during Black Cyber Weeks. Yeah, I don't have any DaVinci plugins, so I'll have to check into that. I've heard there's some really, really cool ones, so it'd be fun to check that out. You have such a great studio setup. Well, thank you, Tony. I appreciate it. I do want to be able to, and I'm going to have a diagram. You guys are going to get a chance to help me. But right now in the chat, let's respond to this before we go. Let's take 10 more minutes and then we're going to roll out. But the question tonight in the chat, the poll is, have you already opened a studio present? I think I spelled it wrong, for your holiday. So did you already get a present and open it? Like I opened these lights and I also opened the adapter for my RodeCaster Video because I needed it. I want to bring in another camera. And so that adapter is perfect to be able to bring in a camera. So now I have the ability to bring in 3 cameras in my RodeCaster Video, as well as a webcam. So that's great for when I'm consulting directly from the RodeCaster Video. But you guys are going to get a chance to participate as we get ready to do that remodel. You're going to get a chance to give me some feedback. Hopefully you guys will find some resources for me I haven't found yet. I'm going to need to be able to switch from a number of inputs to a number of outputs. And I do not want to spend a ton of money and buy a Blackmagic design matrix. I'm hoping to buy some less expensive ones. They don't need to be instantaneous. I just need to be able to switch all of my inputs to an Extreme, or all those same inputs to a RodeCaster Video, or all of the inputs that can fit into a RodeCaster Video. So if I was teaching or training, I could switch and then demo those devices. So obviously I'll have to have my PC come in, my laptop come in. So there's other devices that have to come in, and I will have to bring all of my webcams, even either through the RodeCaster Video, or I'll have to bring webcams in through my laptop and my PC. So right now, just to take you guys through the inputs, this is input 1 of my RodeCaster. This is input 2, which is my laptop. This is input 3, which is my main camera. This is input 4 now because it's my chat. So if I turn camera in my chat back on. And just so you know, I could have both the chat camera 6. I just lost. Was that the battery? No, it timed out. My camera 6 is my 5D Mark III, and it times out. I just use it as a demo so I could show you guys the RodeCaster video, which is right here, and I use that new dongle. Then if I want to go into camera 5, I got to open up that app again, the NDI app from Rode. So we'll fire that app up, and then I'll just leave it on me here. And then let's cut to camera 5. So I have 5 inputs. There's the studio. You guys can see around the studio. So 5 inputs, well, 6 inputs into my RodeCaster video. And so PC, laptop, and then the rest are cameras. So that's pretty cool. I wouldn't be plugging my 5D Mark III in. I'm actually going to add in a camera that's not in right now. And that is the camera that's right over here on my left. That's not available tonight, but I can add it. And so next week, we'll probably add those cameras in so that you guys can see all of the cameras plugged in. So because of that adapter, now I can bring in at least the cameras I want to. If I didn't want to use the NDI that I have right here, the app, then I could use my S3. Okay, so let's go back to a different view here real quick. Forgot about this. I apologize. One of my topics. Yeah, let's just go do this. Let me bring up the email. So I wanted to let you guys know that I've been being able to communicate with YOLOLIV, and I have someone that's been assigned to me as a rep, and that's who I've been dealing with to add the S3 and get information on this device. There's a firmware update that I've been told about that's in beta. I'm going to be able to test it later this week, but it's going to make the camera quality even better. It's going to let you be able to turn the light off and shut the camera off. It's going to add additional color styles in the new software. Again, an enhanced overall image, the improved autofocus and edge focusing. So they're improving this camera. Again, they're going to remove the login requirements to use the key features. So if you wanted to save a preset, so if you're going to use this as a webcam plugged into a RodeCaster video, you can't use the software. So you have to save a preset into the camera and then use it for that live stream. So again, you can't use the software. That's the downside. But again, my cameras, I pretty well turn them on, get them set, and then I go live. This is similar to a DSLR. I can tap on the side screen on my EOS R and change things. I've showed you that before. I can change the ISO. I can change the shutter speed. I could change the aperture if I wanted to. But this camera, you got to save the preset. So you're going to be able to save the presets. You have new color styles. It's going to be better focusing in the edges and better autofocus, and it's already really good. Probably better than any of my other webcams. And remember, the Facecam Pro has autofocusing, but 2 of the other Facecam cameras, the original one and their smaller one, or their less expensive one, they don't have autofocus. So the Facecam Pro, the original one, does have autofocus, but this S3 has autofocus. It's got very good quality. It's almost like a DSLR camera. It goes down to 12,000 I think 500 ISO or up to 12,500 ISO. So it's really good in low light. Obviously my EOS R is way better in low light. This is a 1/1/3 sensor. So the fact that they're improving things, and again, you'll be able to not have to log in now to their site in order to use the other features like saving a preset as well as using the color stuff. And I think they're updating the Mac version as well. Again, their new version is in beta, and I am looking forward to when it comes out. And I have the S3 right here so I can shoot my RodeCaster video series that I've been working on. So that'll be coming out sometime in 2026 because it takes me a long time. Okay, so we looked at Batman. Now let's get back to the chat so we can roll out tonight. Again, if you have a gift that you opened up, please let me know in the chat tonight what you unboxed. I would appreciate it. I use Premiere Pro. Cool. When you switch to camera 4, sound goes off. Seriously, I have that turned off because it is a overlay and I normally don't cut to it. So again, that is a feature inside the RodeCaster video. You can click on every input, every scene, and decide what audio feature you want on and what audio feature you want off. Let me show you that real quick. I got to open up that software and not have that email open because that's private. So let's just minimize that. Let's see. Am I ready to show this off? Okay. So let's switch. There we go. Check. Weird. Let's see what audio's on. Playing through my headphones. Let's just check audio here real quick. Check. NDI is on. Still. Never had that problem before with NDI. I apologize, guys. So I could mute NDI right here. So I'm going to mute NDI. I don't know why that's happening. And that was in the video tonight, double. But if I go into camera input 4, I can go over here to scene audio and everything's off. So I should have had these on. Now when I cut to channel 4, and we'll fix this again, got to enable the camera and then turn off that. So now I'll cut to 4, and now my microphone should be hot. Check, check, check. Yeah, it's hot as I cut to 4. So just wanted you to see that's my mistake, but I fix my mistakes live. Take that, YouTubers. That's so funny. As my family says, I crack myself up. I don't use YoloCam switchers, but the S3 looks pretty good. Yeah, there's a video, 2 videos on my channel on the S3. One on the camera unboxing, and then I have one on the software. 2 really good videos. So I hope you guys will watch those, like those, and share those videos. I spent a lot of time on those. And again, YoloLIV S3 was sent to me by YoloLIV. And both those videos are about that device, so go check it out. But I did want to bring you up to speed, and I will demo the new beta software once I get it installed, and I have permission to show off that software. But those things are coming. I've had people ask me specifically on my channel, so there you go. They are updating the software and the firmware in that device on a regular basis, and that's exciting. Everyone hit like. Please hit like. I appreciate that. Grish Tech Done. Thanks for the answers. You're welcome. How to use wireless unit in the live stream. How to use wireless unit in the live stream. Well, I've never live streamed wirelessly from the RodeCaster video, but you can not have it hooked up to your network, but you can't use NDI then. But I believe that you can wirelessly stream from it, but I've never tried it. So that's something I'd have to test. So don't quote me. Make sure you read the documents on Rode's site. I do know that I can take my laptop and access the software. I showed you guys the software tonight. Let me get that again. Oh, it's right there. So let's see. Let's cut back. So this is the software, and these are the different scenes that I have set up. Going across the scenes, and you can see how many scenes I have. You could have more inputs than this. You can have 5 altogether. So I could add another one right here. Let's see, I think I do have one in that corner. I just have nothing in it right now. So let's just go ahead and, which one is that? 5? Yeah. So let's add my PC, which is in, what happened to my PC? Let's do camera, no, 6. I don't have any other cameras right now working, sorry. Weird. Got my laptop above me. I lost my PC. Oh, no, I didn't lose my PC. You guys are seeing my PC right now because it's chat. So, and I have chat enabled. So I could add a camera to that just simply by doing this. And turning chat off the air, and then it'll only be in that box if I add it. Let's see. I want to add input 4. So there you go. So I can have 4 boxes in that. So that's scene A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then these are inputs. That's input 1, input 2, input 3, input 4. 5 is not live right now because that's NDI. So if I reopened up the NDI app, you will see that input. So it's coming up. And now we'll cut to that input. There you go. And then 6 is my lights on my table. That's my Canon 5D Mark III that we're using the new adapter from Rode on. HDMI to USB-C adapter that I added my early Christmas present. And then this is fade to black. I won't hit that. Then these are the videos. So video A is my intro video with a countdown timer. This is my outro video tonight. This is the video we played during the live stream. That's the tour of my house, Christmas in my house without the countdown timer on it. Then this is my logo, my subscribe logo that I could use as a key. I'm not using as a key. And this is my animated background. And then here's my still images. That's my logo that I can bring on and off the air. It's also in the scenes. So that's my still image tonight. That is the graphic showing the difference features between the RodeCaster Video and the RodeCaster Video S from a few weeks ago. There you go. That's that chat plugin from channel 4. So it brings the camera on the air, but if I switch it back to chat, turn the camera off, then it's just going to display chat. Turn that, I'll pop a chat up there. Doing it live. So there you go. So you know that is working. E is this graphic showing the buttons on the RodeCaster Video and the RodeCaster Video S. 7 buttons in 2 rows compared to 5 buttons in 2 rows. Keep in mind the bottom right button is always black, fade to black. F is the RodeCaster video, and you can see that is a PNG, so it's over top of me right now. And then I have my background layer. Again, that's behind all of my scenes. So we'll click off that and we'll go back to my scenes. And now I'm back on this scene, and you can see that the software works, and there's lots of still things for me to learn. But I really, really like this device. It is really, really a cool device. RodeCaster Video, Rode, you did a great job. And this is not paid for them. I bought the RodeCaster video with my own money. It was a refurbished return, I think, from B&H Photo. I spent basically Black Friday discount money on it, even though I bought it well before Black Friday, but you could buy a new one for about what I paid for this used one. But it works great. Haven't had any problems, and so I'm happy with it. So you did get the S3. I have to check out the videos. Yeah, I do have the S3 in my studio, Tony. What kind of wireless are you talking about? What kind of wireless unit? Video, audio, something else? Wireless. So the RodeCaster video, that camera died. Let's go to NDI. Woohoo! We have technology now. I'm going to answer your question live, so just hold on to your hats. Camera 5. If you look at the RodeCaster video, it has antennas. Antenna 1, antenna 2, and the RodeCaster Video S only has, sorry about that, the RodeCaster Video S only has antennas built inside of it, but this has some you can screw on. So this means that I don't have to have my network with me. So I could take this to a live stream, I could plug the Ethernet into it, and I could remotely control it from my laptop without having to be taking a network hub with me. So hope that makes sense. I've not tried to wirelessly stream from it. If you are going to take the RodeCaster video with you remotely to live stream, you should plug into a network or take a mobile network with you with a cell company or a number of cell companies and a bonding device. And if you don't know what a bonding device is, they're really cool. They're a remote wireless hub that you can put more than one card from different mobile wireless companies. So you can put that inside it. Sometimes they'll have a slot for 2. I think that's the most they have. You could also plug it into a local network. And what it does is it bonds together. So normally you would just have to go through, like, let's say T-Mobile. But let's say you had AT&T chip as well. I forget what those things are called. Someone can put it in the chat. So it will bond those 2 signals together. And then if you had a wired network inside that device, it will bond all of those together. So you're remotely streaming and you have no network in that building. You would just use the 2 cell cards and it would bond the signals together. So if one got low, it has the other one as well. And then if you had a network there as well, it just gives you a more secure network. So you would have two cellular service cards providing you with streaming upload speeds, and then you'd have a network as well or not. But you don't have to have your laptop plugged into a network switch in order to control your RodeCaster video. That, in my opinion, is really cool. So I could upload still images to it wirelessly. I can control the different scenes and switching wirelessly. I can upload videos to it wirelessly right through the air. So that's really cool for remote streaming. It's something that I haven't really talked about much as well. So again, if I had a laptop and a RodeCaster video, I could access it right from my laptop without having to have a network. I hope that answers your question. Okay. What workflow do you prefer, the RCV or the ATEM? That's a real hard question for me because I really like the ATEM Extreme ISOs. I like the 8 inputs. If you know anything about my channel or you go back to watch my videos, I have put 2 together. I have an Extreme ISO 1 and Extreme ISO 2. And if you remember, the Extremes have 2 HDMI outs. So I have my main Extreme that I would live stream from, and it has 6 different inputs into it from my studio. And then the other 2 of the 8 are coming in from the other Extreme. So the other Extreme could have 8 more inputs, and then the 2 outputs can switch between any one of those 8 and bring them into my main ATEM. So I could bring any one of those 8 into 2 of the channels. And so that's what I have in my studio. So literally, I have things plugged into every single input. And that's because I am demoing things here in my studio. So I guess my preference for consulting is the ATEM Extreme with another one plugged into it. So I can show any angle. If I want to show this angle, if I want to show that angle, if I want to show that camera, if I want to show my laptop or my PC, if I want them to see things on my desk or things in my room. I've even used the fact that I have NDI now through the RodeCaster video. I want to combine them all. I did try to plug my ATEM Extreme USB out into my RodeCaster video and it doesn't work. So if you think you can plug your RodeCaster or your Extreme or your Extreme ISO or your ATEM Mini Pro USB-C output into a RodeCaster video, you can't, because it is compressing the video coming out of an ATEM. And the RodeCaster video only receives a signal that's uncompressed. All the camera inputs, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are HDMI coming into it uncompressed. And if you want to add a webcam, you need to use something like the Elgato cameras because they're uncompressed, or the YoloCam S3 because, again, this sends information straight out from the chip, uncompressed video through USB-C, and then that can be brought directly into the RodeCaster video. But I can't bring an ATEM in. So I'm trying to figure out in my studio how I can use the NDI on my RodeCaster Pro when I'm live or when I'm in the studio with a client on Zoom and be able to show them everything in my desk. That means they have to see my RodeCaster video. So again, I'm playing around with how I'm going to wire that and how I'm going to switch all those inputs between my ATEM Mini Pro when I want to show it, show people how to use the software, show them the multi-view. So again, there is a lot of things I have to figure out for 2026. I don't know anybody besides Aaron Parecki that has a studio so complicated, but Aaron has a Blackmagic Design Matrix, 20 inputs, 20 outputs, and he has the new 2ME. And Tony will tell you tonight that the 2ME has, I think, Tony, is it 10 outputs or 12 outputs? So that means you could take any of the inputs and you could set them to 10 or 12 different directions. I can't remember. Tony, let us know in the chat how many of those have. So yeah, data SIM cards. So bonding is able to use network, internet, as well as wireless provider SIM cards. And again, you could have an AT&T card or Verizon card or a T-Mobile card plugged into that device, and it bonds them all together. That's why they call them a bonding device for whatever reason. SIM, not SIM. Okay, too many M's. Are you an event or gaming live streamer? I don't game stream. I only do this. And if I got hired, I would do a gaming stream. And if I got hired, I would do a live stream. Mostly I go in and teach people how to do it. So like if someone was hiring me to do an install, I would take my ATEM Mini Pro over, my ATEM or my RodeCaster video over to demo it for them. so that they could see how it works. So with more clients asking me to do installs, but I really don't have a relationship with any gamers for live streaming. But again, gaming, streaming is a real deal. Lots and lots of people do it. And I have gamed in the past. I've just never live streamed my games. But again, you can use both devices to do that. And they work great. 20 in and 12 out. So the new 2ME is 20 inputs. They're all SDI and 12 outputs, and they're all SDI. So I think mostly now Aaron Parecki is using his 2ME to send things. So again, I only have 2 HDMI outs of my Extreme. Tony has 12. And again, imagine that means that all 20, let's look at that again, all 20 inputs, right? And I think 20 would be enough for my studio, Tony. And then 12 outputs, I think that would be not enough because I want to be able to go 4 into the A10 Mini Pro or at least 8 into my Extreme when I'm teaching on it. And then obviously 4 into my A10 or my RodeCaster video. And then I'd always have a couple other things plugged in, NDI enabled, and probably a webcam because I want to show clients that they could bring a webcam into the RodeCaster video or they could bring in an NDI solution into it. Now, the downside of the RodeCaster video is you can't switch between USB and NDI while you're live. You can do it when you're not live. So my final setup, I'll probably be streaming from my ATEM Extreme and bringing my RodeCaster video into it as a HDMI input so I can bring that up with a client. So, and again, that solves me having to send all of my cameras to my ATEM Extreme because I could bring one of them in from my ATEM Mini, from my Extreme, from my RodeCaster video. Again, this is confusing, so I'm going to quit talking about it. Which software do you use for phone camera to live stream? There is a delay. Yeah, it's actually the Connect. Let's see. Let's close it. It's this app right here. And of course, there's going to be a delay because, again, it's wireless NDI. And I would rarely ever show that live and me on the same screen. Mainly, it's just to show things in my studio. But it is the Rode Capture app. So you can download it from Rode and it will send 2 sources of NDI out. It can send NDI out of this side and this camera on this side at the same time in picture-in-picture mode, or I can send that camera and this camera out at the same time and set this up with 2 people in a podcast, one on one side, one on the other side, and it'll send out 2 NDI feeds, and then you can bring 2 NDI feeds into a RodeCaster video. Because again, the RodeCaster video can do 2 NDI feeds at the same time, and then you could do whatever layout you want because you'd have camera 1 this side, camera 2 this side, and then you could do whatever kind of layout, or you can use the app to create a dual layout right here. So let's go into dual cam mode and we'll do split view. So there's split view. So let me get my hand out of the way. So you guys are in the stream. You are my guest on my podcast. Welcome. So I can send these 2 feeds separately, or the picture you're seeing right now is one NDI source into the RodeCaster video. It's one of the things that makes the RodeCaster video so powerful. Now, if I was plugging in a wireless receiver and I had a microphone and my guest had a microphone, that everything would be synced. There would be no lip delay. Or I can set the audio delay inside the RodeCaster video for that dual signal and get the lips in sync. I can even use a RodeCaster Pro 2 or RodeCaster Pro Duo into my RodeCaster video or my RodeCaster Video S if I own one. And then I could have 4 people on microphones If I want to use the 2 XLR inputs in the RodeCaster video, then I could now have 6 guests. If I wanted to add 2 wireless microphones, I can add 2 wireless Go's because it has a receiver built into the RodeCaster video. So that means that I could have 6 plus 2 more. So I could have 8 microphones live using my RodeCaster Pro 2 and a RodeCaster video. That's, again, one of the crazy things that we can do with those 2 devices. And I will be demoing that with a client friend of mine in the next week or so before Christmas. And he already has a RodeCaster Pro 2. He just bought a RodeCaster video. And we're going to demo how he can hook it all together and have a lot of people. So, Gary, get me 2 MEs and a mile of patch cables. Yeah, you need converters, too, to go SDI to HDMI, vMix or OBS. I use OBS, but you can use vMix to bring in graphics and chat and things like that as well. You can also use John Barker's software, H2O graphics that John Barker created. So check that out as well. You can also use OBS with a DeckLink Duo card and bring it in. The bad thing is the NDI plugin for OBS does not use the same version of NDI that the RodeCaster video uses. So, okay, that's enough chat. Please put in tonight what you opened up. We have half of you almost. It says 11 people have voted. Have you already opened up your studio present that you bought for you this year? No, 55% of you said no, you haven't got anything and opened it up. But 45% of you said you did open something up that's a present for your studio. Would you take the moment and put in the chat what you opened up? I would love other people and myself to be able to see what kind of studio gear you got. That would be really cool. So if you would take a moment tonight before we roll out to do that, I would appreciate a lot. Well, it's been a blast. If you watch this right here, I'm going to actually click on my video. This is my outro video and it's ready to go. When I cut to this, it turns off all the mics except for the music that plays. And so you're going to hear my cues. You're going to hear my music tonight as we roll out. And you're also going to get a chance to see a short clip of my front porch. How to set up audio delay and how to know how long should be delay. Maybe a link to good video. Thanks. Okay. So the way you set up audio delay is you hit record and then you clap. Okay. So obviously when you play that video back, if there's any audio delay, the sound of the clap is not going to line up with the clap. And then what you do is in the ATEM, there's audio delay available. I can't demo that because I don't have any of my ATEMs turned on. So maybe we'll do that in the future. But in the audio section of mic 1 and mic 2 at the very top, there's 2 little boxes where you can set audio delay. So again, in the ATEM control software, inside the audio section, so you got to go down on the bottom and click on the audio panel. And when that pops open, if you have an ATEM Mini Pro or a Pro ISO or Pro SDI ISO, you're going to have 4 HDMI input audio channels and then 2 mic channels and a master. On the mic 1 and mic 2 at the very top, you have effects, you have EQ, and then you also have a little box that has the ability to delay the audio. On the RodeCaster video, inside the settings on the audio page, let me see if I can show you guys this real quick. I'm just trying to remember where it's at because I've already said it. I know where it's at in the software. It must, oh, here it is in the audio page. Let me bring this over. And let's see. I was getting ready to roll out, so I apologize here. So right up here is your frame of delay in the software. So I have 6 frames of delay set, and that's coming out my live mix. So that means my video now my audio is slowed down so that my video can catch up and my lips should be in sync. And again, that's going to change if you're using a web camera, but most of my cameras that are HDMI, my lips are going to be in sync. But that's how you do it. You start recording in your ATEM or you start recording in the RodeCaster video. You clap your hands together. You don't talk. And then you look at the video and see how far off those hands are. If you bring that same video inside your recording software or your editing software, you can usually zoom in and see how far off that high clap sound is from the lips. So you can see how many frames you're off. So you see the clap and you hear the clap, and then you can see how many frames does it take you to get from the audio signal to where the clap was on the video. And usually the audio happens first and then the clap on the video. And then what you do is you count how many frames that is, and then you go into this software and you set that many frames of delay. So that's how I do it. I do a recording. I see if my lips are on, and if they're off, I bring it into Adobe Premiere Pro on the timeline. I zoom in. I look at the audio clap because it's a big high signal in the audio part of your video. And then I can also then visually see where the clap is. I put a marker there, and then I zoom in. I count how many frames from the clap on the audio side to the frame marker or the marker on the video side. And that's how you line both up. Okay. I got a double Stream Deck for Christmas. Awesome. A couple. What model Stream Deck did you get? Great, thanks. Is there not a way to contact you? Is there no way to contact you? Yeah, you go to this page right here. This is actually, let me bring the chat off. This is actually in the notes below. So if you click on the notes below tonight, you're going to see a link to this page. Put your name first and last in there. Put on the bottom that you would like to meet with me for a free Zoom consult, and I give everybody one time a free hour with me. So again, that link is in the description below. There's also a link to these lights, and that's an associate link. So if you click on it, you still get the same price as I did, but I get some kickback from Amazon. Also, the HDMI to USB-C adapter is in the description below. A link to the RodeCaster video, a link to my white balance that I did, and I used this in the S3 software video, how to white balance the S3. So this is a white card and a gray card. I got it out last week, I think, live. So there's a link to this in the description, and a couple other items are in the link tonight. So click on those. A YoloCam S3 link is there in there below as well. And if you go back to my 2 S3 videos, then there is a a page that you can go to where you can purchase the YoloCam S3, and then there is a discount code in those 2 videos as well. So the Stream Deck Plus and nice. So that's how you get in touch with me. So fill that form out. I will send you an email back through that chat or to you directly with some options for times. And you might want to put your time zone in there as well. I am Washington State in the United States, so it is right now 6:15, and we are going to say goodnight. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed tonight's live stream. I hope you enjoyed the unboxings. I hope you'll come back next week because we have more fun stuff to talk about. In 2 weeks, Ratso, my little friend, will be with us live. Hopefully Dominic is going to be with me live between the next 2 weeks, as well as a video with Miss Shannon, my incredible wife. So you do not want to miss the next 2 weeks of live streams before Christmas. And then the new year, we're going to bring in some great things as well. So thank you so much for being with me. And, oops, I already had it on, I guess. And, yeah, I do use Companion, but not that much. Thank you so much for the compliment. If I missed anybody that joined me live, thank you so much for joining me live. Thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you for supporting the channel by using those Amazon links. So have a good night. I am Keith. This is Life Journey Production Studios. And let's get the video ready to go because I messed it up earlier. Get all this stuff put away so I can actually run my live stream and say good night. Okay, I've got the outro ready. It is right there. Again, I am Keith, Life Journey Production Studios. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Have a great week.
I see snow begin to fall. I wish that it could be a merry little Christmas for one and all. And when I hear choirs on the street, so full of Christmas cheer, I pray this is the start of all our dreams. So if Santa, you're listening, please can you bring joy and peace on earth? If Santa, you're listening, please can you bring love enough for the world? Bells, they will be ringing, every heart just singing. So if Santa, you're listening, please can you bring joy and peace on earth? If Santa, you're listening, please can you bring love enough for the world? Then bells, they will be ringing, and every heart just